Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. If this is your first time, this is the third installment of the UV Printer series where I document my experience with the EufyMake E1 as an original backer and one of the 200 selected to receive their printers early, with the caveat that it may be defective. Now, unfortunately, my printer is defective. We last left off with the printer had burned through most of a set of inks and one whole cleaning cartridge, and was still unable to get through the initialization process. So that was actually 3 weeks ago. I've been in communication with EufyMake periodically throughout this process. They were asking questions. They asked me to remove the side panel and take some photographs and send them to them while they try to figure out what the problem is. I'm not sure that the issue's been identified, but my next step is to replace the printhead, which they sent me a replacement printhead. I just received it like 2 days ago. So we're going to go through that process. Hopefully it's not too involved, and hope hope very strongly that that gets me up and running. Here's the printhead. Quick note on that. It came through Amazon Logistics. They told me that to expect it in 3 to 5 days, and I was watching FedEx because that's who I got my other shipments from, and I never saw a label, so I was worried after a few days, and then it just randomly showed up via some Amazon guy. So it's not guaranteed to ship through FedEx stuff. I don't know how they make that determination, but FYI. Okay. Oh man, I was hoping there would be instructions or something in here, because I was reviewing the website and there is no instructional video or instruction manual for how to do this. I haven't found any information, and I want to make sure that I do it correctly. Unfortunately, EufyMake doesn't have instructions on how to replace the printhead. I emailed them and they sent me a link to some instructions on their website, which I had already seen. All they do is detail how to replace the scraper and the I can't remember. It's just a couple components that go on the printhead, but not how to replace the actual printhead. Fortunately, Cameron Coward over at Serial Hobbyism encountered similar problems with his printhead, and he wrote up a detailed how-to on how to replace it. It's not the official instructions. Apparently, he just kind of went ahead and experimented and figured it out on his own. Huge thank you to him for posting this. Go check out his channel, Serial Hobbyism, on YouTube. I did not have the courage to go and try to figure it out. That's usually my attitude to most things, but at this price point, I wanted official instructions from EufyMake so that there wouldn't be any issues, and if there were issues, nobody would be able to say, well, you didn't do this correctly. But I haven't heard back from them. There just aren't instructions, so we're gonna have to figure it out, I guess. But luckily, he's already done it once before. It worked out for him, so I shouldn't have any problems either. So the first step is to move the printhead over, which might be problematic for me because that option is in the settings and it's grayed out for me, so I don't know how I'm supposed to detach it from the lock position, because I need it to come out to the left. If you don't complete the whole initialization calibration process, it is not going to let you manually move the printhead in the app or in the studio, because the studio won't do anything until the app is done with its setup process. Fortunately, I was under the impression that the printhead was locked over here. Like somebody somewhere in what I was reading mentioned that it was locked. It isn't. So I lost a bit of time fooling around with trying to override that inability to move the printhead through the app or the studio when I could just unplug it and then just move it. Just like that. I mean, oh man, it's a mess down there. All right, so we need to remove this cover. Also, just as a side note, if some of this gets messy, I'm going to throw on some nitrile gloves. From what I've read, nitrile is the chemical resistant material. So like latex gloves won't be any good. The first step, I immediately ran into a bit of a complication. And he talks about this thing, this top plate, you need to pop it off. It's kind of clipped in there pretty good. I started with just my hands and then I tried to use the screwdriver, but I couldn't get any leverage. If you find something like this is just something I was trying to design for the lowrider, but it just like, it has a long handle here and a right angle. This worked out 100% perfect. It just slid in there and this popped up like super easily. Okay, next step is to use the Allen to unscrew those two screws. So you get one when you get a replacement print head. And also it comes with one. Since we have this one right here, we're just going to use this one. And he mentions that these have threads at the top and the bottom, so you have to remove them completely. Oh, I see what he means. Like they release partially. And then you can pull them up slightly, and then they have threads again, so you gotta do it all the way. Okay, one. All right, so two screws, remove them all the way with the Allen that's included. All right, same thing, pop this up. He said it doesn't come completely off, but it comes up enough. maybe like that. I gotta revisit these instructions. Doesn't come completely off. It stops. Just leave it there. Okay, and then you just pull it out, it seems like. I'm wondering if I should. I'm putting on gloves for this. I don't know what kind of condition this thing is in. It could be all nasty. So just to be safe, again, nitrile gloves. I wish I had something to set it on. I guess I'll just stick it in the box for now. All right. So lift straight up until it stops. And then there is a clip here that we squeeze. And then that releases. Oh yeah, that thing is messy. Look at that. Okay. Putting it in there for now. They do want that back so they can try to figure out what's up with it. So this is the new one. Pretty straightforward. He said, remove that gray thing. And then there's a clear film at the bottom. There already appears to be some ink on that. Okay. Okay, that's it. Slide it back in. Careful to clear the wiring, the cables and stuff there. And then I didn't hear a click or anything, so it just goes. Seems to be secure. Okay. So now we push this thing back down. It seems to be in there. I don't think I need these gloves. I did get a little bit of ink on them, it looks like, so probably be a good idea to wear them, but we're past the point where I think they'll be useful. So get these screws back in there. And these weren't very tight, so I don't think that they require much torque at all. Just snug them up. And that's it, I think. All right, don't over tighten. And then this should just pop right back in there. Yeah, it just has 2 clips on the left and 2 clips on the right, so just pop that back in. Oh, it is hot in here. The cover, put the cover back on. And then we're going to plug it back in. And that's it. So he said he ran a deep clean cycle after turning the machine back on. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll see if we can get through this. I finished replacing the printhead. That was actually super easy. Good job, EufyMake, on making that very, very easy to do. I think this situation is unique to me because of my complications getting through the initialization process. The first time, pretty much the machine won't do anything without you getting through that initialization process successfully. There's like no way out of it. Like if you have complications, you get stuck in a loop where you either have to do the ink injection over and over and over again until it's successful, or you have to do the test print over and over and over again until it's successful, which is what happened to me. So to get out of that loop of death after replacing the printhead, I had to go into the app and in the settings, remove the device, which gives you 2 options, one to remove it and one to remove it and reset it. I wanted to start all over again, fresh, so I opted to remove and reset. That ends up taking like 10 minutes. The machine automatically kind of like totally resets. I don't know what it does. It makes a bunch of clicking noises. And then after it resets and restarts at the end of that whole process, then it'll show up in your app and you can add it and do the whole thing all over again. And the first thing it does is prompt you to do the initialization. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's at the ink injection step, as you can see. I don't know. I'm really, really hoping that that will go fine, because this, right out of the gate, this is what happened last time, is that it would just take forever and it wasn't successful. It started over and it burned through all the ink and a cleaning cartridge. So we're going to wait that out. It says it takes about 28 minutes. And yeah, hopefully it'll be successful. In replacing the ink, the print head, that is, I noticed that this whole area was super messy, because clearly the print head was like leaking or something. It was just super messy. So I will probably have to get one of those like servicing packages or whatever, so you can clean this whole area up with the scraper. And I don't know if I have to. It looked really messy. I probably ought to. I'll have to look into that some more. Just a quick comment on that. So we will come back to this hopefully soon when this is done. Okay, I reinitialized the machine. It ran successfully, at least that's what it said, through the ink injection process, and then it moved on to the test print stage. It ran through the whole thing completely. However, the results were blank. It didn't print anything at all. At that point, it prompts you to run a cleaning cycle, and then it restarts the test print process. Ran through that again, and again, it didn't print anything at all. So I uploaded my logs through the studio and emailed EufyMake the update, and now we wait again. Um, can't help but say that it's a little bit discouraging to continue to have all of these problems. A little over 3 weeks into having the printer, but it's important to note that EufyMake has been communicating with me throughout the whole process. Um, Sometimes it's a little bit more spaced out than I would like, but you know, I don't know what they're doing on their side to try to diagnose. But they are staying in contact with me. They did send me a new printhead. They also sent me a new ink set with the cleaning cartridge because I did have that issue where it ran through like 2/3 of all of the inks and it burned through a whole cleaning cartridge. I did ask them for that. I don't know if they would have done that on their own, maybe, but I did ask them for that and they did send it. So I do appreciate that. And I guess we'll see. But it is worth noting that they seem to be making an effort to make things right. And to me, despite the hardships, that has value because just because you give a company thousands of dollars of your money doesn't guarantee that they're going to support you or respect you. And they seem to be trying to make things right. So I do appreciate that, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I know more where we stand. Catch you later.